Okay, in your math notebook today you are doing table of contents. What number is biggest or smallest is the focus of today's lesson. We talked yesterday about place value of whole numbers. We're going to review a little bit of those things, but we're going to move on to what number is biggest or smallest. Make sure that you use your table of contents. Write this down for number 2. And if you need to, pause the video. Remember, I will be looking for your notes. I will ask for them, and I will want to see that you are writing this down as you watch my video. Make sure you turn to the next fresh and clean page. The holes are going to be on the left-hand side. Do not go on the back side of any of the notes that you took yesterday. You're going to start a new page with holes on the left-hand side. And we're going to write at the top what number is biggest or smallest. Our I can statement for this is I can use my strategies to find the biggest or smallest number. And I want you to go ahead and write down this definition as well. Whole number, a number that is the complete set of something. It's important we understand what a whole number is. I know yesterday I had that in your notes, but we're going to go ahead and add it again today. A whole number is a number that is the complete set of something. If you need to, pause the video. Make sure you get all of these notes down. We're also going to review this from yesterday. We had standard form. Standard form of a number is just the number itself written in number version. So this 3,201,976 written in standard form. Standard form is numbers. Next, even though we've already written this down in our notes, we're going to write it again because we learn lots of different ways, and one of the ways we learn is by writing things down, actually performing that, putting pen to paper. It helps our brain to grow a little bit more, our elastic brain. So we're going to do this expanded form. Sometimes instead of expanded form, it says expanded notation. Notation is just a fancy way of how to write something. So expanded notation, we're going to take all of the numbers out of their place value and show what their value is. So this is 3 million. If we added 3 million plus 200,000, excuse me, plus 1,000, plus 900, plus the 70, plus the 6, if we added these all up, we would get this standard form right there. And then, of course, we have our word form, 3,201,000, and like yesterday, I had to insert 1,000 there. $967. Write these all down. Keep going. If you need more space on your paper, you can go to the back side of it. Notice right here I have my holes on the right side because I'm on the back side of my paper. That's okay. You don't have to go to a fresh and clean page every single time. Our notes can just continue from here. Okay, so we're going to start thinking about how can I tell which number is bigger, which number is smaller. Using this ginormous number here. This is a really big one compared to this one over here. Usually we'll have like a circle in the middle where we're supposed to put either this symbol or this symbol or this symbol. Well, we need to know how we can figure this out. So this is the strategy we're going to talk about. So make sure you write this number down, write my little notations there, and below it, we're going to put a place value chart. And this one might take you a little bit of time. So I put this place value chart in here. I shortened our names. We have our ones column, our tens column, hundreds column, thousands column, 10,000s, T-thousands, 100,000s, millions, 10 million, 100 million, and billions. Take the time to make your chart, and then I put each of the numbers from the previous screen in the chart. It was important that I line them up based on their place value, because if I don't line them up based on their place value, I can't compare the values that are there. Like yesterday I said, Okay, well here's a 7 and here's a 9, and we could tell 7 and a 9. We can tell if they're all by themselves. A 7 is smaller than a 9, so the alligator mouth would want to face a 9. But if we're talking about, you don't have to write that part, but if we're talking about this 7 that's right here compared to this 9, well, this 9 is worth 900, and this 7 is worth 7 billion. So this 7 billion is going to be way more than this 900. So we have to line them up based on their place value so that we can compare place values. If you have two numbers that one of them is lined up, you line up your ones and your tens and your hundreds and your thousands and your 10,000s and your 100,000s and your millions and your 10 millions and your 100 millions and your billions, and one of them is shorter than the other one, it will always be smaller because there's going to be less amount. So right now we have this. We're going to actually start at the biggest number that lines up, that sits on top of each other. So we have a 7 and a 7. Neither one of those we can distinguish between because they're equal. This is 7 billion, this is 7 billion. So we have to go to the 100 millions. Well, we have 0 100 millions. Then we go to the 10 millions. We have 50 10 millions and 50 10 millions here. So we got to go to the millions. Here we have 2 millions. Here we have 2 million. So far the number is exactly the same. So now we go to the 100,000s. Well, here's 100,000 and here's 700,000. Which one of these two is going to be more? Hopefully you said the 700,000 is going to be more. And so when we go back to our alligator comparison, we can see that this 700,000 is going to be way bigger than this 100,000. Some of us can do this in our brain, but we have to make sure that we're lining up those place values, making sure we can simplify this process by counting how many number sets there are. So here's one set, here's two sets, here's three sets, and then we have a single. Here's one set, here's two sets, here's three sets, and then we have a single. So these two numbers will match up place values. All right, let's move on to some other examples where we can figure out bigger and smaller. So we'll start with this 37 versus 42. Which one is bigger here? If we think about place values, there's only 2 digits here and 2 digits here. So we line them up. Our biggest place value is a 4 here. Our biggest place value is a 3 here. So our 42 is going to be bigger. Then we have these two numbers. There's 1, 2, 3 here, and there's 1, 2, 3 here. Our biggest place value here is a 4. Our biggest place value here is a 9. So our alligator is going to want to eat the bigger one. Then we have down here, we have our biggest place value. Oh, let's count first. 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4 digits. All right, so biggest place value is a 6 and a 6. Then we have a 3 and a 3. Then we have a 3 and a 4. So, hey, that worked out really funny that all of them were bigger on the right side. Let's try another one. Ooh, we got something really big here. So let's count how many digits we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so they both have the same amount of digits, which means that their place values are going to line up. So then we started our biggest place value, which is over here. Ones is our smallest. Over here we have millions. Here I have 2 million. Here I have 3 million. Which one is going to be bigger? Hopefully you said 3 million. Oh, now we have a really big one. Let's count our digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Well, which one has more digits in its in the complete number? We don't even have to do any comparison there. We already know that if it has more numbers, it has more value. So we're going to go ahead and put our alligator that way. It's really funny how all of these are going to the right side. I didn't plan that. All right. So I want you to go ahead and head on over to your class Kick. Make sure that you have all of the notes done that I've given you, even the ones that where we practiced. The class Kick, if you didn't get to do class Kick yesterday, look for the app that says class Kick, and when you go in, you're going to type in this code, and then you're going to type in your name. So I'm going to give you another clue for the secret number. Yesterday, I think that I said that it was 4 digits, so which means that it's in the thousands. So I'm going to tell you, my second clue is that the number itself is odd, which means that the last digit of the number is an odd number, like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, the odd numbers. Even numbers would be like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So start thinking about what number that might be, and head on over to the class Kick and get started there, and I'll see you at the table soon. And as always, happy mathing!